So imagine you're this young ENFP, full of ideas, so many things you want to do, and your biggest problem is focusing, picking just one thing to do. But then one day, maybe you find a YouTube channel all about ENFPs. Who knows? Who knows how you did it? But you find a way to focus and stick to just one thing. Be disciplined. And maybe you start your own business and you're growing that business and you keep doing it, maybe for a year, maybe for 2 years, and it's actually working. And then one day you ask yourself, shit, where'd all those ideas go? What happened to all that creativity I used to have way too much of? This actually came up on an ENFP Unleashed coaching call the other day. It had been happening to a member, and to be totally honest, it's happened to me as well. I work so hard to be focused and disciplined, and when these new ideas would pop into my head, I'd say to myself, no, like stay focused, stay on task, don't change direction of your business. And then you know what happens? One day your unconscious is like, well, Dan doesn't want any of these creative ideas. Dan doesn't want any of this genius. So let's just turn it off. Let's just stay focused. And the truth is, it does serve us ENFPs to have a period where we can stay really focused and maybe dismiss some of that super creative energy while we focus on something we need to grow, while we put in the grunt work. But then we'll get to a point where we need to get it back. And that's what this video is all about. How can you get your creativity back? Whether it's in business or art or writing, there's something that you used to do and have that real creative soul. How do you end up getting that back? Well, one of the things that's happening when you find yourself feeling less creative is you're getting into your extroverted intuition. That's your primary function as an ENFP. You're spending less time there, and maybe you're spending more time in something like extroverted thinking, where you're focusing on logic and organization outside yourself. And so these are some tips that have worked well for me and can help you get back to that. The first one is change your peer group. Now this is an all-time hack for anyone, right? If you change the people you're around, it will change how you're thinking, how you're feeling. And so start spending time with more creative people. You know, maybe you're working as an accountant and you haven't painted in 5 years. Well, if you keep hanging out with accountants at the bar after work every time, you're probably not going to start painting anytime soon. So spend time with some artists. Maybe drink some absinthe. Make some changes, and that is going to naturally bring out more of your creativity. Now, another thing you can do is change your inputs. You know, what are you taking in? If you're watching the news all day and drama TV shows and everything else, like, yeah, you're probably not feeling that inspiration to write, or you're not thinking about all those business ideas like you used to. You know, when I was most flush with new business ideas and bouncing all around, like, you know, the stereotype really is, it was also when I was always reading autobiographies of entrepreneurs and business books and hanging out with other entrepreneurs. So of course that's what I was thinking about. And when I found I was losing some of that, what was I doing? I was watching dramas on Netflix. I was hanging out with a wide range of people, not necessarily entrepreneurs. And so kind of makes sense, right? So take a look at your inputs and see what changes you can make. And on the note of inputs, a third thing you can do is create some silence in your life. Creativity breeds in silence. So if you're spending all your time in the mornings while you're making breakfast, listening to a podcast, even if it's my podcast, or before bed you have YouTube videos on all the time, there's no silent time, your creativity doesn't have a chance to open up. At the start of this year, I found I was having more trouble focusing than normal. So I did this dopamine detox, and I basically turned off all electronics for 2 days on the weekends and from 8 p.m. onwards on weekdays. And I found that pretty much instantly, like within a couple days, the creativity came back, the ideas came back. and I was waking up earlier than ever before, scribbling notes on my pad. Before bed, I was having trouble falling asleep because I was thinking about all these different ideas for my business. And I did that simply by creating silence. Now, I have thought that maybe you can't have the best of both worlds. Maybe when you train your brain to be more focused on one thing, you lose the ability to be creative, to think of all these ideas. That it's an either or choice. So you can either be the really focused person who just does one thing and does it well, or you can be the person with all these ideas. And maybe that could be true. But maybe it isn't true. Maybe there is a possibility where you find both parts of yourself, where you learn to switch between functions, where you spend time being focused and disciplined Monday to Friday, and on Saturday and Sunday you allow yourself to think about creativity and to really go into your extroverted intuition and let the ideas flow. And I'd like to believe that that is very possible. That's what I aim to live with, and I think that's what you can do as well. So when you're trying to switch between these ways of being, think about your peer group and your inputs, and use those tools to determine what kind of person you want to be acting like at the different times, so it will serve you to reach your goals. I'm Dan, this is Dreams Around the World, and my mission here is to help you become the best version of yourself, all while creating the most awesome life possible for you and those you love. I publish new videos each and every week, so consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and all that good stuff, and I'll see you soon. One last thing, if you're an ENFP who loves being told how absolutely awesome you are and why you are the best in the world, well, head over to dreamsaroundtheworld.com/ENFP training, and you can get my free training series for ENFPs, where the first email is a pep talk. You'll see the subject line in your inbox, ENFPs are awesome. After you read it, reply to the email me back, and let me know what one of your favorite things to do is. See you in your inbox.